Hi folks, this is Wellis speaking again. Welcome to video number 4. In this video, we are going to talk about two particular scenarios. The first scenario is rather simple. In fact, you have seen the setup already. That's basically to illustrate everything goes well. But the second scenario, we are going to illustrate the web from the region A goes down. I'm going to start by explaining you the architecture of scenario 1 first to make sure that we are all aligned. So here's the setup. If everything goes well, you will be only see the traffic flow through the web array. And then from the web A, it connects to developer group endpoint, which further points to DB in the region A, the database in the region A. So in this case, region B stay passive, although they are up and running, but they are in the passive mode, right? This is also what we call an active passive deployment model. So let's show the demo of how we achieve this. And I'm going to use Postman tools which we have discussed earlier. First, I can hit the traffic manager endpoint here. I'm going to click send. Once I'm getting, I hit send, I'm receiving a list of JSON result. If I click on header, if you remember from my previous slide, I show you that I add a few custom header to make it a little bit convenient for me to shows I am getting the request from the response from region Southeast Asia, the region A, likewise the database as well, and I'm having like 31 number of records. I can definitely bind this to my custom domain. In fact, I've bind it into tm.welly-lao.net. That's my own domain. And likewise, if I hit the send, I'm getting the same result because it's just another domain. So if I click header again, so I'm getting exactly the same thing. All right. So nothing fancy. What I'm going to show you is the next the next method, which is making use of a post to add records. If I change the post, and I can optionally add additional parameter to define the product codes as well as quantity, but I can leave it empty so that I will auto generate from my code, right? I'm gonna hit send by changing this to post, and now you realize that its status turns into 201 created successfully. And then if I maybe I should hit it one more times or two more times. If I move back to the get again, you will realize that the number of records should increase, now become 33 because I add 2 records earlier on, right? Likewise, this is still everything is still happening in Southeast Asia data center or region. So that's to illustrate scenario 1, nothing fancy. Let's move on to scenario number 2, which trying to simulate what happened if web A is down. So give you a little bit of animations of how it works. Suddenly web A is down. Traffic manager after a period of time will stop routing the traffic to web app A, but only route the traffic to web app B. All right, so this is how it works. Let's immediately jump into the demo. So I can use a feature in app service allow us to stop the web app for a while. So the moment I hit stop, I would imagine that this endpoint will be inaccessible. And after a period of approximately 30 seconds, that's what I said, it will fail over to the secondary region, which is US, only for the web tier. All right, now before I hit this stop, I'll get ready my JMeter first. Okay, I'll probably have to hit start of my JMeter, and we can inspect how long does it take to recover or successfully fail over to the US. So I'm gonna hit start on JMeter, come back to my web API here. I'm gonna hit stop. Okay. So now it successfully stopped. I can also verify that with my Postman to make sure that this is whether this is running. And you can see that this is not running already, 503, indicating that my Southeast Asia region is down. Um, if I hit a couple of times, after a while, I would imagine that it will be successful failover. In fact, let's observe our JMeter. So if I hit my view result tree, you realize that the first few requests was successful, um, and this one was still successfully like web region returning Southeast Asia and database likewise Southeast Asia. But then a subsequent request, it all went unsuccessful. Okay, so let's be patient and wait a while. Perhaps I should, while waiting this. Oh, there you go. You see that now it start getting a successful request. So I want you to pay attention of the last request that was online 9:21:00 GMT. If I scroll all the way here, where this was the first request that was successful after a serial failure. Let's see, this is 9:21:56, so it's approximately about 56 seconds. It has been successfully route the traffic of failover the web app traffic into the East US, while the database is actually still in Southeast Asia, right? So this was the live demo that I can show you. In fact, I have previously done that, and I got slightly different result. The previous one was a little bit faster, about 26 seconds, as you can see. So hopefully this gives you a bit of idea how long does it take to fail over and how that works. That's all for the video. Thanks a lot for watching. I'll see you in the next one.